guys. Yeah. We established yesterday that we're not only here to talk about success, but we're here to craft it, to actually create a template to cause your success to happen. And so we delved yesterday into understanding our goals, understanding why it is that many people reach their goals and some just don't reach it no matter what. We established the fact that our conversation or the way we write goals determine how the goal reacts to us. And that the moment we write the goal, it sends signals to exactly how to attain it and the possible blocks that you may come across. And it alerts you the moment you write the goal. So tonight we're going to focus on your manifestation of that goal, the actual template for helping you to reach your goal. What are the steps that someone takes, the dedicated, committed steps in terms of reaching their individual goals? But before we do so, we know you were writing your script yesterday. So if there's anyone in the audience who would absolutely love on the platform, who would love to be able to share not necessarily the script, but your experience while writing it. So we're going to open up for you to share that. Okay, Michaela, I see you with pen and paper. I know you did it. You're muted. You're getting it on the double. All right, while she's working on anyone else. Anybody scripted yesterday?
Starting my right?
Did you,
Call.
Jen? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I did. And I found that I was just writing after how I was writing right after no, you just pause and just settle down for the night. I was like, this vibrant power switch just turned on in me. I never knew I had so much to write about myself. But so I'm enjoying that so far. I'm looking forward to the
Beautiful.
end result. Yeah.
That's really powerful. It is a very necessary step that we all take when we set goals. There's so many different branches to our goals. There's relationship, there's income, there's career, there's health, is happiness. And so what I encourage people to do is to kind of map it. So your face is in the middle of the screen. You all do goal posters. And the goal posters don't work for 99% of people because they do it, put it up, and just walk past it. A goal poster needs you to become emotionally involved with it on a daily basis. Feel into the pictures that are on there, see yourself, the visualization of that. So you map it by basically putting your picture in the middle. And then you have branches like you have your relationships, and you put pictures of what you want that to look like. And then you probably put pockets of pictures of what you want that to look like. And you do the same with your income. This is the income that you're looking to create, and you put things that your income will draw to you. So we will do that at a different point, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Um, Anyone else scripted?
I did.
Go ahead, take it away, Michelle.
I did. I wrote out um actually something I started like the beginning of this year. Just about what I want to do for this year, where I want to go. Um, I talked with my partner and I asked him also what where does he see us going in 2026? What do you see us achieving? Where did we plan on going? So we put like our trip.
Mhm.
Um, we want to go away. We put a new apartment on there. So I did my script as this year's where I want to be at the end of 2026.
Okay, great. Awesome. Anyone else? So thank you again, Jennifer and Michelle. All right. Is there anyone else who did that? Anybody else who scripted for their goal? All righty. Okay, so we're not here to put a belt over your back or anything of that nature, I promise. But what we're here for
Um,
is to go ahead, Lucille.
Sorry, I was on a call, so I couldn't jump on. Yeah, so what I did was I did my 90-day plan. Where's my book at? To the 90-day plan, but I wanted to do that. I want to write $20,000 in annual premiums, right? Issued premiums. And then, but I broke it down into three different, first month one, January 5,000, February 10,000, and then March 20,000. And to
Hmm.
work it like that and just build up to my C goal, which is a 20,000. So that's my 12-week plan, my 90 days.
Okay. All right, so that is the plan. That is the strategy. Okay, so now we're going to tap into the mindset piece, which is 95% of what causes the goal to get done. So when we write the strategy, 90% of the times we see work. And when we see work, we have a way of seeing work. We're either going to see it as laborious or, oh my gosh, or we're going to see it as fun. So the key element here after the goal is written is to see the end result. Whoop, right? So the desire, what is your wish? What are some of the obstacles that you're going to have to overcome? And ultimately, at the end of the road, how will you deal with them when they show up? Okay, and then at the end is what is the end result? Does that look like? All right, so with manifestation, most people think it's hoo-hoo stuff. Oh my gosh, manifestation, hoo-hoo. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But what manifestation is really is you creating what you desire. That's really all it is. It's you taking your goal and deciding this is what I want, and now I'm going to actively work to cause this goal to become a reality. Now, you're accustomed to working hard. You're accustomed to doing a lot of things that ultimately is causing your goal not to happen. Don't look at me like that. You're working so hard, the goal will never happen because the goal is exhausted just watching you work. And you're exhausted. And by the time you're done and you look at the goal, you don't want it anymore because you didn't sign up for that. But what the goal really wants you to do is to enjoy flow, harmony, happiness, ease, and become the person who attracts the goal naturally. And that is a struggle that 97% of population has, the struggle of understanding your relationship with your goal. So we're going to give you the 5 key steps we're going to cover tonight regarding actually manifesting the goal. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. What needs to happen the moment you set that goal? So the first thing you all know that is setting the goal. You set the intention. Y'all set the intention. One moment, slide. Let's share this. Okay, all righty. Good. Okay. So we set the intention first and foremost. What is it that I want? And I ask you to do a 90-day goal in order to keep it close to you. What is it that I want? What is the science behind that? When you set an intention, you first need to be in a place where you are calm, where there's no noise, no extracurricular activity. So you need to set that intention alone. Hence the reason I asked you to write out your script last night. So once you set that intention, what you're looking to do is to step into it the moment you set it, not to analyze it, but to step into it. Then you want to visualize the outcome. You want to visualize the outcome. We're going to go through it one step at a time. I'm just sharing this with you as an overview. And then you're going to affirm your readiness to accept the goal, that particular goal that you desire. Once you do that, you're going to move into a place of gratitude. You're going to be thankful that the goal is already accomplished. And in this state, you're going to see the things that you have done to cause the goal to happen. You're going to enjoy all of the things that you have done. In other words, if you set a goal and say, okay, my goal is to have um, 10 business associates, you're going to see yourself with the 10 people right now in the moment, not next week, not 10 months, not 90 days, but now. So you're going to have to experience it now. And the moment you're seeing yourself with them, you're also going to see what am I doing with these 10 people? What are we collectively doing together? What are some of the things that we're enjoying? What are we feeling as a team? What are we, you name it, all your sensory factors, you're going to call them to play, to partner with you to experience that right now and feel gratitude for it. Then you're going to commit to inspired action. What does that mean? It simply means that once you set the goal and you decide intentionally that this is what you want, you then have to act as if you already have it. And that means the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you make decisions, you make it as if you already have the 10 people on your team.
Hmm.
Now, here's what happens with most people. They set the goal, they set the intention, and then they're saying, where are the 10 people? Do you guys see what just happened right there?
Isn't that true?
All right, Lisa, right? Did you just see what happened there? The moment you ask where they are, you have not committed yet to believing that the goal is yours. So you have to stay in a state that they're already here. They're not physically here, but they're mentally here with you, and they will show up for you. But if you think that they're not there, you have already set the intention that they're not there, so they're not there. So they're not there. All right, so let's run through these slides. I'm going to take some questions from you, and then we're going to go through the slides, and we're going to do this together. We're going to pour in gratitude. We're going to teach you how to write your goal, with how to really write it, visualize it, add all the necessary components to it. So it's considering the goal that you selected last night, I used an example as adding a new team member. How do you manifest that, let's say, within the next 3 days? How do you manifest the new team member showing up on your team the next 3 days? How do you manifest a client? Where is Lucille showing up within the next 3 days? So I did an example of that and I'll share that with you. I'm going to ask you to, if you have questions at this time, please do ask it. We're family. There's no question you can possibly ask that's redundant.
Great night.
Great night, Lisa.
Last night I was in the I'm not saying I'm making an excuse, but you said the script. I never fully understand how to do the script.
You didn't know what to do with the script. All right, let me take it from this perspective. When somebody's acting, when you have an acting role, what's the first thing that they present to you in your hand?
The blueprint of what is.
Right. So in essence, it's a script.
Mhm.
So you get a script, you're going to assume this character. And when you get the script, you have to learn the script. Once you learn the script, you're going to start acting like the character that you're portraying in the script. They even tell you what size the character is, what clothes the character wear, whether the character wear a pair of glasses, whatever the scenario is, but you get the full detail of this character. Now you're taking that idea and bringing it to your goal. This is the person that I choose to become. And so I'm writing out the character traits of this individual so I am clear on who I am. Or then I'll have a vague picture of who I am and where I'm going. And once your picture is vague, so too will the results be.
Okay, got you.
All righty. Okay. Any other questions?
And you were saying about a 90 day,
Goal.
okay,
So
90
if
days.
you have set your goal already, great. If you have not and you need to collaborate with someone, to get a clarity on what it is that you want, please do so. So you may want to connect with your sales director and work together with her to figure out what you actually want.
Yes, yes, I've done so. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Lisa. Anyone
Okay.
else? All right.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to share. We grow up as kids, right? And when we're kids, we have these big dreams and we plan what we're gonna do. We say, I mean, I remember announcing at 5 years old, I'm going to be a nurse, and everybody thought, oh, that is so cute. But I really meant at 5 years old, I was going to be a nurse, and I give thanks because I am a nurse today. But it's that seed that you plant, and then you see yourself as it already. And before you know it, what you've been manifesting, you will actually be sitting in it. So, think back to when you were a little kid and you had these big dreams. Did you hit those dreams? Just food for thought.
Awesome. And the fact is that you're manifesting every day. You're manifesting what you don't want. Don't look at me like that. We manifest what we don't want every day. Okay.
I just want to
We
share.
do
Okay.
all the work to get what we don't want. Go ahead, Adolphine.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to share was that when I was growing up, my grandmother used to admire this lady who always dressed up to go to the library. She was the library secretary at the time. And so my grandmother would say, oh, my daughter got to look like that. My daughter is going to get out of this farm and she's going to go to school, and she's going to be the only one who's going to go to school, and she's going to dress like that. And so when I was growing up, if I don't wear something that cover my entire body, I would never feel good. So majority of my clothes are suits, and they are always, always put together. Even if it is a dress, it cover me up. And now when I start looking at other things, I'm like, I think my grandmother is right. I'm gonna stay with who I am.
You adapted all of those traits.
I did.
Yeah, and carry them into. All right. We're going to share a
I was just going to share.
manifestation suit. Go ahead, Jackie, you wanted to say something before I
Yes,
grab
yes.
this.
Great evening. I'm happy and grateful to be here. You talk about manifestation. I just remembered when I was buying my house.
Hmm.
I saw exactly what it was going to look like. I saw a blue kitchen. I saw everything about this home. My mom found us the house. So as we came to look at it, as I walked through the door and I turned my head to the left or to the right, there was a blue kitchen. I said, this is the house.
Hmm.
That was it. Manifestation. It works.
Every time, all the
Works.
time, every time, all the time. It opens up the way for you to see clearly. If you have this picture, when you show up for when it shows up, you'll know it. If you don't have a picture, it could run right past your face and you have no clue what it is. And that's the very thing you're looking for. And that is why it's important for you to write your script. Let me share this from a new book that we're coming out with called The Audition, and it talks about the diaries in the audition of people that we're within our self-mastery community. And I just want to shout out to all of you, Gaylan, Baptiste, Elaine, Rita, Adolphine, who else is here? Lucille, Naomi, from the self-mastery community. You have helped each of us individually and collectively create such major impact and shift and do things that we never thought we would have done. And these are some of the results of it. This particular manifestation happened within our within our group. And it says here, it's called The Leading Lady Who Stopped Playing Supporting Cast. Okay. And she was finding the perfect partner. The challenge was this. We have used other names to just maintain the privacy of individuals. For years, Sarah felt like an extra in her own romantic life, despite being successful in her career as a marketing sales director and surrounded by a loving group of friends. Her love life followed a disappointing script. Hear the word script, script, script. She found herself repeatedly cast in relationship with partners who were emotionally unavailable or who didn't value her ambition. She resigned herself to the belief that she was unlucky in love. That's a part of the script too. As we're reading, you're going to pick up the scripts and how it shows up in our world. Okay. Often telling her friends that all the good ones, the healthy, supportive partners were already taken. That's a script. Sarah was waiting for someone to discover her worth rather than owning it herself. Here's her approach. When Sarah began applying the principles of manifestation, she realized that she had been auditioning for the wrong role. She was trying to fit into the lives of others rather than casting a co-star that fit into hers. Rewriting the script. Sarah stopped focusing on what she didn't want and started scripting exactly what she wanted. She didn't just list physical traits, she listed dynamics of the relationship. She wrote down how she wanted to feel. She wanted to feel cherished, intellectually challenged, and supported in her purpose. Rehearsing the role. Instead of waiting for a partner to make her feel complete, Sarah began rehearsing her life as a woman who was already deeply loved. Script, new script. She treated herself with the same care and attention she craved from a partner. This wasn't just about self-care, it was about shifting her energy. She stopped accepting last-minute dates that made her feel like an afterthought and started setting boundaries that reflected her high value. The costume of becoming. Sarah cleaned out her closet, removing the clothes that made her feel invisible or stuck in the past. She started dressing for the life she wanted, wearing outfits that made her feel vibrant and confident, even when she was going to the grocery store. This was her costume of becoming, an external signature of her internal shift, taking the stage. Sarah realized that to find a co-star, she had to be on the right stage. She stopped swiping aimlessly on apps and started placing herself in environments where her ideal partner would likely be. She joined a high-level networking group and a hiking club, aligning her actions to her interests and values, aligning actions, acting as if you are. Here's the transformation. The shift wasn't immediate, but it was palpable. By embodying the role of a woman who values herself, Sarah naturally repelled the supporting actors who used to call her to waste her time. 3 months into her approach, she met Kendall. She met Kendall at a charity event she attended, something she never would have done before. Kendall wasn't just attracted to her appearance, he was drawn to her radiant confidence and self assurance. Because Sarah had already rehearsed her standards, she recognized immediately that Kendall met them. There was no desperate energy, only the calm certainty of a lead actress recognizing her co star. Today, Sarah and Kendall are in a committed partnership that honors both of their individual purposes. Sarah didn't just find a boyfriend, she manifested a true partnership by first becoming the star of her own life. She proved that when you stop waiting in the wings and step into your light, the right person will always find their way to the stage. Y'all see how that connects with
So good.
manifestation.
So
So
Mhm.
good.
let's go back. The first thing, you must have the intention. You must set the intention. Let me share a screen with you. So I see hearts coming up. Yeah, we chuckle because we get to gain credit for seeing that happen right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know somebody's smiling over there saying, yeah, I remember that. Okay, let's go. All right, so here we are. Okay. The script is designed to help you tune your frequency to the vibration of success. What you're going to do with your script, the one that you wrote, is to read it out loud, feel the words deeply, and let the energy of that intention bridge the gap between where you are now and the client. We're looking for team members here. This is the example that we selected, and the client you're destined to serve. Okay, so let's start with setting the intention. I want you to be very present to this moment because you are changing the way your results show up. Pause for a moment, think about it. And I'm going to need help. So here, the affirmation, we create an affirmation for every intention you have, do have an affirmation that backs it. Why? An affirmation erases the old paradigm that you have and installs a new paradigm that gets you to the goal rather than away from the goal. Let me put it to you in layman terms. Let's say you're accustomed to walking a particular path in when you go to the park, or if you've ever lived in an area where you have tracks. So we walk the tracks, and in those tracks, imprints of the feet mark allows the entire grass to be worn away, and then all you're seeing is the track, right? To the side of that is grass, to the other is grass. That is the track that was created by consistent wear and tear. It's the consistent walking in that path that created that track. Now, in your brain, you have created neural pathways that sustain certain things that you do, and you will always walk in that track. So to step out of that track and walk on the grass to create another track, it is challenging because you know that path already. But you have to train. Once your brain is trained, then this new track emerges. The goal of affirmation is to create a new track, one that's different from the one that's giving you poor results. I'll repeat. The reason why we create affirmations is to get rid of the old tracks that have given us the old results that we do not want and replace it with a new track, a new neural pathway in our brain that gets us the results that we actually want. How many of you are on it? Let me hear you. Put it in the chat. We want to see some reaction. I got it. Let me know that. Share with that in the, just give me a heart if you got it completely. So right now, what's in your brain is giving you the results that you have. In order to change it, the affirmations will help you to change it. You want further information to back that, try Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it will tell you precisely how that works as well. So who's going to help me with this? The intention here is to grow your team.
I will.
Thank you so very much.
Setting your intention.
Yes.
The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates.
Okay, so the
Purpose.
10, one moment. Thank you. We want you to read the rest, but I just wanted to interject. The idea here is that sometimes we're getting results that we do not want, and we talk about it all the time. We're fighting it. I don't know why I can't do this. I don't know. That is a fight. So what you do is you just walk away from that and you create an affirmation that supports what you actually want, and you stay there and you leave the old building to burn. Let it die. That's not what you want. So the more you talk about what you do not want, the more of it you will have. The more you talk about what you do not want or the negatives that are happening that you think is interfering with your success, the more of it you'll get. Take it away, Valerie.
Purpose. Open your heart and business to welcome your ideal client, a partner who aligns with your values, respects your expertise, and is ready for to reach their goals.
That's a typo. Hmm.
This is a partnership rooted in mutual growth.
Okay.
Affirmation.
One quick second. So the purpose, you're setting up the verbiage for what is it that I want. You decide who you want on your team. Who do I want on my team? I want people who are emotionally stable. You find three character traits of the people that you want on your team and rely on that to lead those people to you. just like Sarah relied on her script to lead Kendall to her.
Mhm.
Okay, take it away, Valerie.
Okay, affirmation. I am setting the intention to attract an individual who aligns perfectly with my values, respects my expertise, and is ready for the transformation I provide.
Okay, so now you set the intention, you set an affirmation to solidify the intention and to free you of going back to the old thinking that you had before. So, number one is what? Setting your intention.
Intention.
That's clarity. You're creating complete clarity. Who do I want on my team? Okay, next. Can I ask somebody else to jump in? Number two, you are going to visualize it.
I'll take it.
Thank you, Adolphine.
So the idea here is see your success as a present reality. Envision the effortless conversations, the signed contract, and the incredible results that you will achieve together. Feel the energy and fulfillment of this partnership energizing you.
Okay, great. So you decide that, I'm adding this new person to my team. This person has these character traits, and now you have to visualize it. You don't wait for the person to show up to visualize it. You
Mm.
visualize it before they show up. So you literally close your eyes. It takes 5 minutes in any given day. You have the 5 minutes. Use it to draw what you want into your life. You close your eyes, get in a quiet place, and see the individual with the character trait showing up in your life. See both of you working together. See both of you laughing together. See both of you succeeding together. See both of you planning together and visualize that whole thing, the entire thing. Don't leave it to happenstance. Oh, she came. What we do now? Huh?
Mm.
You visualize the entire thing. Your mind is looking for complete clarity, not confusion. Whenever confusion jumps in, everything goes haywire. Continue. We'll take the affirmation. So once we said we're going to affirm that as our reality.
Okay. Affirmation. I see us achieving extraordinary results, milestone reach, breakthroughs, experience, and goals surpass. Working with them energize me.
Okay, if you notice, I left that in there. I wrote it in and I left it and I crossed it out because I wanted you to pay attention.
Right.
When you're writing affirmations, don't use any word that's going to have a negative impact on you. None. So if you're writing, I don't want to feel sad. If you notice, a lot of times when I talk about results, I say not so good results. You won't hear
Yeah,
me say bad. Not
right.
so good. You want to keep using the words that gives you the results that you're wanting. So you wouldn't use a word like drain.
Mm-mm.
This is going to trigger a whole different set of emotions, and you do not want that. That's not what you're bargaining for. What you're looking for is working with them energizes me. All right. Thank you. So we go from intention, now we're visualizing. Let's take a look at what this looks like for an athlete. There is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has often said that before the ball leaves his hand to the hoop, he sees it going through the basket long before. Now I have personal experience with that. My son used to play basketball in when we lived in Reading, Pennsylvania. And we created the thing we call ITV. Some of you may have heard me talk about it before. And we talked about ITV before the ball leaves your hand, Keyshawn. You got to see it land inside of see it going through the net, and here it go, swoosh. So it was a thing in the house, swoosh, swoosh. It goes right through the net. I have an article here from the Reading newspaper. He never missed one free throw for the entire season, playing that idea in his mind, and I still have the article from the newspaper. He visualized the ball leaving his hands and he going right through the basket. Now you have to visualize your goal in that same manner. What happens is that we set the goal and we visualize all that's not going to happen based on our past experience. Remember that old track that we used to walk in, that we're working to leave and find a new neural pathway? We went right back over in that track and start walking in there because it was where we walk all the time. It was familiar, but the familiar doesn't mean right. Familiar doesn't mean that it's going to give you the results. Those of you who are in self-mastery community, you know about the fly story. This fly hitting itself against that pane back and forth and back and forth. You know, Devon played for us a couple of mornings, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until he died right there on the window pane. What was he doing? He was doing the same thing over and over, but right to the side was a wide open door that this fly could have gone through. But he took all it and he kept beating himself against that pain and beating it until why he died there. You're not that fly.
No,
You're not that fly.
no.
So here it's a world-class athletes like Michael Jordan were famous for visualizing their success. Jordan would mentally rehearse making the winning shot countless times before he ever stepped on the court, making success feel inevitable. Now it's your turn to visualize yours just the way you want it, not with the stuff that you don't want. You've been doing that a long time. Okay. Number three, we're talking about really not just talking about success, but creating it, the template to create the success that you want. So, number three, we set the intention, we visualize the outcome. Number three, who's going to help me with that?
I'll jump in.
Thank you, Elaine.
Affirming your readiness. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Marianne Williamson. The
Oh,
idea.
mhm.
Own your expertise and worth. Release imposter syndrome and recognize that your unique journey has perfectly prepared you to guide this client. You have honed your skills and are ready to share your gifts.
Beautiful. So the client is now in your hands. That's all you're seeing. And you're not questioning whether or not you can work with her. That's not a question anymore. You know that you have been ready and waiting for her, that she's been with you many times before, that you've been
Mhm.
in visualization with her all the time, that you guys have been talking for the longest time. So when she arrives, guess what? You're so familiar with her, you
Mhm.
don't have to question, what do I do with
Mhm.
this one? What do
Mhm.
I train? Director, can you train her from? You don't have to do that because you've already visualized that in its entirety. So when
Yeah.
she arrives, you're ready for her.
Mhm. That's right.
Okay, continue,
Okay.
Elaine.
Affirmation. I release any feelings of inadequacy. I know that my unique journey, my triumphs, and my struggles has prepared me to guide this client in a way that no one else can.
Great. Now I
Well,
left a mistake in there, and I want you to correct that for me. I purposely left it in there. I release any feelings of,
inadequacy.
Inadequacy.
so
That's not
what would that read? So if you're not inadequate, what are you?
Adequate.
Adequate.
Right.
Adequate.
So you would never write this down. I release any feelings of inadequacy. You want to say, I am
Adequate.
sufficiently prepared for her.
Mm.
That's a statement that you would never write on paper and say that's a part of my affirmation. You're going to see a
Mhm.
couple of them, and over time, you're going to identify them and say, oops, yeah, there goes
Yeah.
one of them. I can't write that. So you're going to see them kind of playing all over this slide. And you'll be able to identify that, no, that's not how I would say that. Anything that does not supports good vibrational energy, don't put it in your affirmation. Okay, so that was number three. Thank you so much, Elaine. Now we're going to move to number four. We have two more to go. Who wants to take away expressing gratitude?
I
I'll
will.
do it.
Thank you.
I will.
Lucille, and who else? Somebody else responded, so you're going to do the next one. Go ahead, Lucille.
Expressing gratitude. The affirmation. I am so deeply grateful that this client is finding their way to me right now. Thank you, universe, for connecting us. It is already done.
Awesome.
The core
Go ahead.
idea. Operate from a frequency of receiving. Be deeply grateful for the client who is already on their way to you. Express thanks for the trust, the connection, and the abundance this partnership brings into your life.
Okay, great.
Blessings will flow.
Go
Keep
ahead.
on
Go
going.
ahead. Go ahead, Lucille.
Okay. Blessings will flow in the space of gratitude. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey famously keeps a gratitude journal and has spoken extensively about how starting and ending her day with gratitude has been fundamental to her immense success and ability to attract positive opportunities.
Great. Could you repeat that for me,
Okay.
Lucille?
Blessings will, which one? Oprah Winfrey?
Yes, thank you.
Oprah Winfrey famously keeps a gratitude journal and has spoken extensively about how starting and ending her day with gratitude has been fundamental to her immense success and ability to attract positive opportunities.
Okay. All right. Here's the science behind gratitude. Gratitude really allows you to be in your highest level of vibration. I cannot begin to tell you. Starting your day off with gratitude is the best thing any individual could ever do. The challenge is we were brought up to see everything that's going wrong. You can tell what's wrong with her hair, what's wrong with her shoes, what's wrong with the way she talks, what's wrong with this. And we have been trained to operate that way. So we've been trained to look for all things negative. And because we have been trained, we're walking on that path. You remember that path, that beaded path? We're walking on it, easy to find. It's not in the grass. You're on that beaded path. So your neural pathways in your brain is trained to pick up what's not good. Now, with gratitude, you're literally looking for all that's good, all the good. You're looking at the breath that you take. You're looking for the good in your relationship. You're looking for the good in people. You're looking for the good in food. You're looking for the good in everything. And when you get there, you're now operating at the highest vibrational level that you can possibly imagine. And when you're there, what attracts you at the highest level? All that is at that level. So you now start attracting even greater. What does that have to do with manifestation?
Of
What does
course.
that have to do with your goal? When you're thankful for something before you even get it, you're sending the energy out that I am grateful for you. It said it's better to give somebody honey than to feed them what? I don't even know the other part of, I only remember the honey part.
Vinegar.
Vinegar. See,
Vinegar.
I don't think about
Yeah.
anything not good. So the honey I remembered. So feed honey. And if you're letting honey out, guess what? The bees are going to come.
Mhm.
Right? So you
Yeah.
continue to be be grateful for that individual coming into your world, for that individual working with you, for both of you getting along perfectly, for you both contributing to each other's welfare. And the joy of that, when you go to do an interview, do you know what that does? You already saw her, you already feel the energy of working with her. All of that is coming out in from your interview. But if you don't visualize it, and you're not grateful for it, and you go to do an interview, all the energy, the anxiety of, oh my God, is she going to sign? Is she going to be a part of my team? Is she going to work? Is this the hot shot? Is she going to be a star? All of that mess is right there bubbling up inside of you. And the person is sitting there and saying, I'll think about it. And you're wondering, what is she thinking about? She's thinking about all the energy that you were throwing at her. There's all of that energy, and she's so confused because she didn't understand what it was, but she knows something wasn't right. It's all the stuff. But when you go prepared, you have manifested it. This is the person I want in my life. This is the character traits they have, and you go there. You do it with calm and with ease, and everything just flows. You're one with the experience. All right. This is juicy. I'm having fun with it. I imagine you've got to be. All right. And the final part is commit to inspired action. Manifestation, as most people think that it's okay, you just write down something and it's going to show up. No, that's not how it works. You got to take action. But here's the difference. It's inspired action. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But I'm going to ask the person who volunteered to read to go ahead.
Manifestation requires aligned movement. Trust that your ideal client is also seeking you and commit to showing up as your highest self. Take inspired action with unwavering faith and release how and the timing.
Great. Love that. Release the how.
Affirmations.
Hmm.
I commit to showing up as my highest self today. I will take inspired action. I will release the how and trust in the timing. I am ready to welcome my new client now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
Keep going, Jen.
Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see it. The old staircase, Martin Luther King Jr.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to go back and talk about release the how. I usually joke with some of my friends, and you are my friend, so I can say that. Say, stop barking. How. Stop the barking. No need to bark. We don't need to bark through the process. Here is why. The how cannot show up until you're in the work. You'll never know how until you start. If you knew how, you would have already
Done.
manifested it on the external. You'd have had it on the external. So when you said somebody said, "How do I recruit?" But I don't know how I'm going to do that. You won't know how. You won't know how. It will show itself one step at a time. So the first step is, of course, I know I have to take inspired action. So guess what? I'm going to do some interviews. And I'm trusting that inside of these interviews are all the people that I want on my team. So I'm taking inspired action. And then once that action is taken, you look for the wins, the small wins and the large ones. So you look for what went well and you celebrate what went well, and then you move on and take the next action, and then the next, and then the next. Okay. All right, we're going to stop sharing. We're going to pause here. We're going to take some questions and wrap this up. Tonight, we were basically centered around manifesting your goal, the 5 key core steps that you take. And the major one that is not on the board, and I have to personally talk to you about, is let go. Once you set the intention, you read all of that, you have met, you're knowing that this is what you want, you let go of the outcome. You let it go. Melva, but how is that possible? Am I not supposed to be looking for the end result and really checking and tracking and making sure that that's what you want to let go of? All of that anxiety. Trust the timing. It will show up at its perfect time. Trust it. Trust the timing. It will show up at its right time. You're right where you are right now, and it's the perfect place. And you're right where you will be, and it will be the perfect place. So just trust the timing. Once you are in the flow of your goal, you can always trust the timing. Let's take some questions from you. We're going to wrap it up here.
Let it go.
Let it go. That's right, Lisa. Why do you let it go? Because it's already yours. No fighting, no
I'm
fussing.
glad I'm glad for this because it's you know your mind, it's a mindset. That Jackie always says, it's a mindset. You just have to just believe it. And what you say, it's already there already, and step out.
That's right.
Okay.
Don't poke any holes in the goal. Just accept it as is. No more complaining. No more, I didn't get a recruit. No more, I can't find no numbers. If you're in manifestation mode, you would never say that. A plane is never going to say to you, if you say that I am, you are. And all things prerequisite to what you say you are will show up. It might not all show up at once, and they won't, but they'll show up. They'll show up in its perfect timing. You do not want a baby to be born 4 months, I promise you. It will show up in its perfect timing. A
You know,
tree, go ahead.
use myself tonight. I was in the hospital with my mother. I was over one side of the ward, and I was talking to two ladies. Some ladies say, "Oh, I don't want a Mary Kay. Mary Kay is an old thing from a longer time. It's Macy's." And I was like, "Okay, okay." But there was a lady. I always walk with a set of satin hands and satin lips with me, right? So I say to a lady, I only put on
Extra
the
emollient.
emollient on her, and she was going crazy. And she said to the next one, say, feel this, feel this. And I'm saying to myself, as I'm saying, I step out because I was like feeling like a little bit shy because you're on the ward and they're doing their job and all of that. And she said, "Come on, man, I'm going. You were going over She said, "Come, we're going over Earth section, over the B section." And when I went over there, I've done like 5 to 6 satin ants. And out of that, I have three to take to the hospital. I'm saying, "Oh my God," I was like feeling a little bit, but I, as I say, let it go and step out.
Yep. Stick with what it is that you're working on and let it take its toll. Nothing
You
can
know what,
stop,
Malva?
nothing can prevent what is yours. Nothing. But you got to believe it and you got to hold on to your belief. One moment, Lucille, hold on to your belief with as a committed decision. As a committed decision. Lucille.
I was just gonna say to the comment that it is a mindset. Once you set your intention and you commit to your goal, the mindset just pops in because if you believe everybody's buying and everybody's getting in, and you use that as your mindset, then everybody's going to get in, everybody's going to buy, and then that's just the bottom line. That's all you see.
That's
Everybody's
true.
getting in, everybody's buying.
Okay.
Because that thought Lucille talked about is going to trigger the words that you say. But if you're thinking a different thought, the words that you say are going to be vague and won't lead to the result. So the bottom line is, what is it that I am thinking and that thought ultimately gives you the picture of the result that you're looking for, which ultimately give you the result that you want. So if that thought is foggy, the results are foggy. If you're unsure, you're going to get people that are unsure around you, right? If you're committed to what it is that you're working on, you're going to get some committed answers and some committed people around you.
Okay. You know
The
what really
next,
happened? That the goal that I had in mind was I had 10 satin lips in my bag, satin lip set in my bag. And I set out, say I'm gonna sell the 10 this today. Yeah, apparently I don't sell two. So I'm saying to myself now, if I started earlier, because like 5 o'clock I did that, if I started out earlier in the morning, I could have finished the 10. So that was my, they could take back, for me today because I had appointment for myself and my mom is in the hospital. So I'm saying if I, open my mouth, I wouldn't come back home at 8. So that's the goal.
awesome. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. Any other questions before we wrap it up? We have 5 minutes to go. Any other questions?
No, mine is not a question. I just wanted to share something. Last month I planned a party, and actually everyone that was supposed to come canceled, but I didn't buy that. And so when one of the consultants came in, she said, "Oh, really, everybody canceled." I said, "No, nobody canceled." She said, "Oh, really?" I said, "No." And she said, "Well, so when they're going to be here?" I said, "It's rescheduled for tomorrow at 12." And actually, the next day at 11 o'clock, a friend of mine walked in and said, "Listen, I want you to official all my bridal parties tomorrow." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah. The 24 of them, I want them, all of them to have facial, and I want all of their faces to be clean before Saturday morning." I said, "Oh," she said, "You got any appointment?" I said, "No, I was waiting for you." She said, "How you know that?" Because I said, "I saw it. I scheduled a party that I was going to have 10 people in there." And she said, "Oh, now you got 24." I said, "Okay, you come on in." And we started 11 o'clock on Friday. and finish at 6 o'clock on Friday.
Awesome. And some of us will look at that and think that, wait a minute. So why am I getting the results that I'm getting? Because you're writing a script. You're working with a script that says that I cannot. You're working with a script that says, I'm not good at this. You're working with a script. And the part of it that is challenging is that sometimes you don't even know you have that script. However, you can find out by the results that you're getting. The results will always tell the root of what's going on in your subconscious mind. All right. We're at the tail end. Tomorrow, we're going to take a look at the subconscious mind. We left it for last because we want to show you how all of your results are related to what's going on in here, how your self-image is related to that, and how the decisions that you make in life is related to this little stick guy right here. It's just a replica to give us an idea of what happened, how our mind works. Is this our mind? No, it's not. It's just a replica of something to give you an idea of how your mind works. Tomorrow, we're going to take a serious look at that. And we're going to show you how to use this to make the decisions that you make and make better decisions, how to think of this to build your self-image, how to think of this to grow your income and stop the money stories. Stop the money stories. I don't have. Stop it. It's destroying our group of people walking and saying, I don't have money. I don't have money. If you ever hear yourself saying that, just write it on a piece of paper and burn it, please. If your bank account doesn't have money, it doesn't mean that you are not abundant. If your bank account doesn't have money, it doesn't mean that you are not wealthy. And whenever you start separating you from your bank account and separating you from your bills, you will start having the financial freedom that you desire because you are wealthy. Your bank account might not have anything in there, but you separate yourself from your bank account. For crying out loud, please separate yourself from your bank account. Separate yourself from your bank balance and your bills. Could you give me a heart? Give me some
So
hand. I
so
really want you to think about it. Stop it. Stop.
Ooh, that is so powerful.
Separate yourself from your bank account and your bills, my people. It's causing disruption not only in your line, but in your legacy, your children and your children's children. I didn't mean to preach. That is the end of our night. I'll see you here tomorrow at the same time. We're going to talk
Powerful
about this guy
ending.
right here.
Ah,
Oh man,
good
this is
Have a
night.
great night.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Jacqueline.
Good
You're so
night.
very welcome.
Thank you. Good
Good
night.
night.
Everyone.
Good night.
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yes.
Okay, Rita.